Welcome to another Tuesday night shiur. Hanukkah Sameach. I know last year we turned on the Hanukkah. We were listening. Different crowd, different things. What were you saying? You were saying something.
Oh, do you have a regimen for your haircuts?
No, I don't have a regimen. I have a regimen for certain things. For example, like Hashem commands us to put on tefillin in the morning, right? Why? You can put it on. You can really put it on the whole day.
Yeah.
Why in the morning? Because there's a certain koach that goes into you, a certain aura, a certain light, a certain energy, if you want to use this new 21st century language, right? It goes into you on certain times, right? And that's how the Torah really is.
Koach as well?
Koach means power. Same thing to anything that you do in your life. The day you get married is very significant. The person you get married to is very significant. Your birthday is significant. When you buy new things is significant. Like you think I'm crazy. I'm not crazy.
Buying things too?
Everything has supposed to have. Now you're gonna say this is a superstition. No, it's not.
I heard you can't wear shoes of somebody else.
You shouldn't wear someone else's shoes.
What if you wore them once?
You shouldn't wear anything.
Because of mazal and stuff, right?
You shouldn't never wear someone else's shoes.
What if it's my dad's?
You shouldn't even gift someone shoes.
What?
Brand new?
It's not such a good thing.
What?
What about slag? What if you're wearing someone's toppish in their house?
Don't wear anything that someone else put on their feet. Don't wear.
What about my dad's shoes? Like, we always share.
Listen, I'm not gonna tell you not to wear it now. You continue living. For sure, strangers you should. For sure.
What about like bowling shoes?
Oh.
You wanna laugh? I went bowling
Ice
this week
cream.
with my kids.
Okay.
Didn't wear shoes.
I didn't wear their shoes.
Yeah, the shoes are disgusting.
Well, I care about that, but I care more about other things. I didn't wear it. Dad was screaming, "I'm gonna close your thing." I was like, I'm putting it on my nail, sir. Don't worry about it.
I was just gonna
Whatever
ask
the
you.
case was, right? I'm not wearing it. I'm sorry. I'm not wearing other people's shoes. I'm not. It's a certain koach hapnimi that goes on to a person. It's a deep concept. It's a concept that's not really, but this is not the ikar of the Torah. The ikar of Torah is learning, Gemara, halacha, sodot, of course. This is just other things that you pick up as you learn, and as you have teachers, you pick up certain things from them. And
So you can't go ice skating either? You have to buy your own?
that's a good question. It's a
Is
good
that considered a
question.
shoe?
Is that considered something that's a good question.
Skiing, snowboarding.
Snowboarding for sure, yes. Skiing for sure, yes.
I feel like for bowling, things like that, it's okay because you're not actually walking close.
Again, there is no halacha. You can wear it. The halacha is you shouldn't wear a dead man's shoes.
Oh.
When someone passes away, gotta get rid of his shoes. Unless he was a collector. I looked into this.
What if he has a pair of shoes that he never wore though? Brand new.
Like a collector.
Not necessarily a collector, he just bought them and he passed away.
That could be a bit of an issue. But let's say someone's a collector, even though he wears it, but it's really,
Okay, now I have
it's like
another
a business.
question. They say an embarrassed person is like dead, right? And then a poor person is also. So also those who can't wear their shoes either?
No, that's all that's a totally different framework. Totally different framework.
Okay. Okay, so no.
No, that's
So it's
not
really
good.
just dead men.
A person that passes away, you shouldn't wear his shoes. You shouldn't wear anything of his, but his shoes for sure.
What about the feeling?
Tefillin's mutar. You know how we know tefillin's mutar? Tefillin is not considered a beged, a garment. How do we know that? How do we know that?
No.
Yeah, I'm asking you. Use your head for a second.
Because it has Torah on it?
Because we don't say shechianu on it.
You don't say shechianu on shoes.
Correct, but not because it's a clothes or not a clothes. That's because it's something else. Something
So
unique
we
with
say
it.
Sheriano on garments.
Anytime you get a new garment, you should wear a
So if I buy a
shechianu.
new sweater, I should say Sheriano.
If you like it, Shahiyanu, tithadesh,
Or
of
if you don't
course.
like it, if somebody gives it to you and you don't like it.
Even if someone gives it to you, what are you, right?
So I just said well, before.
Or it's second hand down. But for you it's considered new.
Okay.
Shahiyanu.
What if you don't like it? And you just
gotta make it right.
So learn to like it.
But one thing that's tricky is you try it on in the dressing room, right? And then you go home.
It doesn't make a difference.
When do you say
It
Shekhiyan?
doesn't make a difference. When you wear it the first time for Shabbat clothes,
So what if I'm trying it on?
it's okay.
I have to say.
Even if you wore 2-3 days, a week, a month later, you can say Shahiyanu.
Oh, I heard otherwise. Okay.
You say Shahiyanu.
No.
Is there like opinions on this because of different rabbis?
You can say Shahiyanu. If you're besafek, you can get another clothes, put it together.
But it's appropriate to say bracha in the fitting room.
No, you shouldn't.
Or you can.
Buy it and then say the bracha.
That's a stress.
You can say, but Shekhianu for everything you wear and you like. Maybe you're not gonna buy it. Maybe you're gonna find something you don't like. You know what I mean? Anything else?
Yeah, if I buy like 10 things and I say Shekhiyan on one, it goes on all of it. If I put it on right after.
You should put them all together on.
At once?
Yeah. Again, we don't say Shekhianu on undershirts, underwear,
Yeah.
socks, kippah. It's only like on
Tzitzit.
clothes. Tzitzit we do.
So let's say someone buys 3 shirts, like 3 button-down shirts. You should
So,
put
no.
all of them.
You can make 3 separate ones.
2 separate ones.
Wow.
Is it mandatory to say it?
It's a good question. Why wouldn't you say it?
Just never heard about this. It's my first time
Okay,
hearing
now you're here.
it.
Welcome.
Do I get up here for not saying it?
No.
Oh no.
So it's not mandatory.
You
Not
don't also
close.
say when you haven't seen a friend for like a few years.
No,
you
we
say-
don't do that
Oh,
anymore.
okay. Anyway.
Jahat Mitim, Shahyanu, 1 year, 1 month, we don't do that anymore. That's it? Done? Okay. Let's get into the Inyanim, the Inyanei HaDvarim. Mai Chanukah. What is Chanukah? The Gemara asks. Masechet Shabbat. Daf Chaf Bet, Chaf Gimel, Dalet. Gets into the Inyan of Chanukah. Well, first of all, what is it? Now, this shiur that we're talking about is not necessarily about Chanukah, but about the significance of in general. So, if Chanukah passed, don't think that. Listen to it. What is this? What is this Chanukah? First of all, what is the miracle on?
You can't have a light oil lasting 8 days.
It's very, very important. Very important. That we know that is the miracle, not the war of the Maccabim with the Greeks.
What? That's also a miracle.
That's not why we
It's not
celebrate it.
coming. Okay.
That's not why we celebrate it. See, if you learn history, you'll see that Hashem saved the Maccabim unbelievably. Because at the same time, while the Judeans, right, as we say, the Kohanim were fighting against the Greeks, there was 3 simultaneous wars with the Greeks at the same time. That they needed to push out of Judea, out of Eretz Israel, and to go finish the other wars. And that's why really the Maccabim won. Because the soldiers of the Greeks became less and less and less. People don't know history. But we don't celebrate Hanukkah because of the war. None of that. Doesn't even have a book in the Tanakh. So why do we celebrate it?
For the oil. 8 days.
For the lights. Hashem loves lights. Loves them. I had a Rebbe in 9th grade. He was also my principal. In 11th grade, I started to see him do something. What would he do? He would always light candles before davening. Now this is, we know as Ashkenazim do this, Sfaradim usually don't do this. It's not something that we not nahug. You never see a rabbi going up to the bima and lighting candles.
I already did this before class.
Before tefillah, right? You already did it before class.
Very sure, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
whatever the case is. Now I remember in 11th grade asking him, "Why do you do this?" And he brushed me off. He didn't answer me. Okay. He didn't answer me. Recently, someone sent me a video of the Yanuka. And the Yanuka says that how he's very much makpid to do this. Very makpid. He brings Rabbeinu Bachaya, Parshat Truma, he brings the other Hasidic sources. Right? Why? Hashem loves light. Serving God with light means to light a candle for God, not a Levim Shmat kind of thing, but I light a candle and start davening. So when I heard this, the first thing I did was I went to the Judaica store and I said, "Do you have these lamps?" There's a special lamps they put, and the Judaica stores by us don't have it. So today I went to Brooklyn. I even was deciding how am I going to build one. I want to build one in order to leave it next to my father's shtender over there, light it before davening in order to do this thing. And then I couldn't find it. I ordered something online. Hopefully we're going to establish to put it in the tefillah. We should have at least someone should put on the candles like this. It should be a zahut. The Gemara says more than that. It says people that light with olive oil, not this, but Shabbat candles, Hanukkah candles. It's a segula. It's a fortune, right? To have kids that are tzaddikim, righteous kids. Light is a very powerful thing because light means hope. Life means salvation. Light means community. Light means warmth. Light means let's get together. So the Gemara gets into a small little discussion. If you have enough money for Shabbat candles or Hanukkah candles, oil, whatever, right? You say candles, right? Which one do you buy?
Shabbat. Hanukkah.
It's a good question, right?
I think
It's a great. I think it's first of all, it's a great question. We have to first
it's a good question.
acknowledge the
Shabbat
question.
candles is the right one, no? It's not? That we can...
Shabbat
Definitely
candles
Hanukkah,
is
definitely.
doraita.
No, it's not.
I thought anything to do with Shabbat is it?
Kiddush is doraita. Not even on wine. Kiddush, what you say in shul, is a doraita. Candles to light is I didn't see anywhere that it's a doraita. It could be that it's derived from a doraita, but it's not a specific mitzvah of a doraita. I could be wrong. I have to just look into it. So the Gemara comes lemaskana and he says halacha lemaaseh. Right, we were talking about this before. Halacha lemaaseh. The conclusion of the Gemara: you buy Shabbat candles and Hanukkah candles next year. You don't buy it. Why?
Shabbat so far.
Because what's the purpose of Hanukkah candles? The purpose of Hanukkah candles is what?
To remember?
To bring out the miracle, the light of the miracle to the world. But Shabbat candles is for what?
For the home.
To bring peace in the home. If a person doesn't have peace in his own house, what are you spreading the light to the world? How can you spread light to the whole world of a miracle when your house right now is a turmoil? It's a balagan. Everyone's eating each other. It's survival of the fittest. It's counterintuitive. It doesn't work. There is no pshat in that. It doesn't make sense. You're gonna go why? Because I want the world to see what I'm doing. It took me a very long time to understand that. A real Avodat Hashem is b'tzina, privately. It's not publicly. Publicly doesn't make a difference. The reason why people like to do Avodat Hashem publicly is because they want to get recognition. Recognition is not Avodat Hashem. Recognition is Ga'ava, which we all have to do tshuva for. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'hakol nihya b'dvaro. Delicious, thank you. So the maskana of the Gemara is that how important, to the point it gets into, we have to understand, let's break this down. You see, what is the biggest issue nowadays?
Depression. Things like that, you're saying? Or
One of the greatest diseases, this new disease that's coming to the youth, is a fast, quick...
gratification.
No, it's more than that. It's
cheap dopamine.
It's something like that.
Everything has to be fast. Everything has to be fast. If they don't have that life that they imagined in the beginning, they don't want to work for it to get it. They want to break it off and see if you can get it by somebody else. That's wrong. Social media destroyed our generation for one thing. It makes us think that the people that we're following or watching, their lives are actually the way they post it. Which 99.9%, especially if they edit their videos, it's not like that. It's fake. It's all fake. It's all bitterness and empty. So what do? They need the validation from outside. It's disgusting. Because they're fooling all of us. All the youngs that want to get there, they're fooling you. Because we're living that emptiness. Because we didn't light our own candles in the house. We didn't light our Shabbat candles, which is us ourselves. We're now working on each other to get better. We're now working on each other to look at what's the truth, what's the reality of life. What do I have to do as a human being? I'm going to tell you something. I was very surprised today. My wife texted me. She mentioned it a couple of times. I didn't like, okay, it's mention it, doesn't mention it. It's not really chashuv. I can show you the text. She said, she texted me. She's like, I want to start learning once a week with you. I'm starting to feel I need it. I feel a little bit empty. And this is a woman that I'm not here to praise her in any way, shape, or form, right? She works in the morning. She has her own kids, and then she works at night. She works till very late at night. She attends a mikvah. She's around the clock on her feet. And I remember her telling me that I feel like I'm doing something good. I feel like a sense of purpose. I feel a sense. So where did this come? Why are you having these feelings of emptiness? And I was thinking about this, and I came to a certain understanding that there is a work that a person does for the public, and then there's a work that a person has to do for himself. And they both rely on each other in order to have success. If a person cannot ignite himself, he cannot ignite the public. If a person doesn't know how to ignite the public, he won't know how to ignite himself. You need both. They go hand in hand. Right? What's a great boss? A great boss is a boss that went up the ladder himself. He didn't go right away become the CEO or inherited it. No. He started as the garbage man, the mail boy, worked his way up in order to be the CEO. He earned it. Why? Because now he understands everyone in that workplace. He's not just good because he has the head, or he knows how to command, or he has a mouth. But no, because he experienced from the beginning till the end. So too, in your own personal life, in your Avodat Hashem, you have to understand that I need to work on myself. I can't just care about going to shul and this and that without having a self of understanding and connection to godliness. And that's Chanukah. We're going tomorrow is Zol Chanukah. Tomorrow is when all the candles are lit. Tomorrow is the minhag, or the, not minhag, the skula. I still don't know where the source is, but I'm assuming It goes by any chefetz kadosh, any mitzvah you do, they take notes, they put it under the menorah, the 8th day, they pray for the wishes, and so on and so forth. It's all nice, these are all great things. But if you don't have that simple, have that understanding that I have to work on becoming a better human being. And everyone knows what they need to work on, everybody. You don't need a rabbi to tell you. You don't. Honestly, you don't. You don't. Everyone knows what he needs to work on. If it's his laziness, if it's his stubbornness, if it's his sadness, if it's his personal depression, if it's his personal trauma, and so on and so forth. Trauma is a big thing. Trauma is the killer of this generation. It's detrimental. We don't do anything about it in this community. You have it, live with it. We all lived with it. You can also live with it. It doesn't go this way anymore. People have mental issues, not that they're mentally retarded, but mental, psychological issues. They need to get help. There's nothing wrong with getting help. I speak to a friend, very close friend of mine actually. We have a very interesting relationship. But a very die-hard friendship. It's crazy, whatever. I'm not going to get into it right now, who it is, what it is. He started learning about these things lately. Psychology and how to work on oneself and so on and so forth. And so many other things. And the funny thing is, me and him were in high school together. We learned majority of these things when we were in high school. When you learn Torah Chassidut and Chumash in depth and Gemara, these topics come out. But when you get it, feed it, when it's fed to you, you don't appreciate it. Some people need to go through a struggle. So I look at him and I'm talking to him on the phone and I'm like, Habibi, we learn everything that you're learning now. We learned this in high school. We learned this in the beginning of our marriage. What happened? Why right now are you so excited for it? It's because sometimes people need to go through a struggle. They need to go through that darkness and not sometimes. We do need that. We need that pain. We need that struggle. We do. But the question is, will you survive or will you fall in the cracks? Will you always blame the traumatic experiences you had in your life, or are you going to learn from it and are you going to rise from the ashes? I like that. Going to rise from the ashes? Or are you going to allow the darkness of the ashes to consume you? Huh? Every seed has to go under the ground. The question is, will it blossom out of the darkness or not? Come on, Rabotai. Hanukkah is what do we have? 24 hours? We have a couple of hours left for the holiday. Then what? New Avodah, Shovavim. It's a whole new avodah. We're getting ready for Hanukkah then. We're getting ready for Purim, and then we're getting into Pesach and Sfirat HaOmer. Judaism is full of avodah, working and working and working. You never stop working. Because the second you stop, that's the second you become stagnant. The second you're stagnant, you're a dead human being. You're done. That's why all of us feel empty all the time. Because we have repetitive lives without any flame inside of us. No flame, no drive. Our drive is fulfilling other people's wishes. That's what it is. How you said, why you go to college? Why go to law school? It's good to learn law. You don't need to go to college to don't answer, right? No, there is no fire there. There is no real reason. There isn't. It's not there. It's not there. You gotta ignite yourself. If not, you're gonna be dry. Your avodas Hashem is gonna be dry. It's not good. You have to learn how to go beyond comfortability. People are scared to succeed and to move on because they honestly, they rather settle for what they have than to improve into something better. Because they know improvement means work. And work is something they don't want to do. Why? Because in your mind, it's not something that's certain 100%. But you're not understanding that 100% depends on you. If you say it's going to be 100% and you work, it will be 100%. But if you tell yourself, it's what Hashem wants, throw the God card, then you're a tupoy. Sorry for my language. You're an idiot. You're a Majnun. For what? For someone else to take the credit? For something that you had to do and had to achieve? And that's why Shabbos candles are more important. One reason. Because you gotta take care of your own nest before you go out and take care of other people's nests. You must. You have to. Right away, my wife told me that. I went I first of all called my Rebbe. I was like, I have a question. What do I learn? What should I do? When we were younger, we used to learn all the time about marriage and how to raise kids. I told my wife, we're not learning that anymore. I'm done with those. Well, we graduated from Balei Tshuvas, not Balei Tshuva, but inspirational people. Right? Inspirational people that like to listen to inspirational speeches want to know about two things. How to get married, how to stay married, how to have kids. Right? This is all for me. I want to throw up from these topics. Different topic. She said she wants to learn something hardcore. She told me she wants to learn some Chassidut and some other things that I was very surprised. And I was like, okay, we'll do it. Spoke to my Rebbe and he said he's going to get back to me about this, that. But either way, I still went to this farm store. I found a sefer that I really, really think that will be very hardcore. And we're going to start. But why did I do it right away? Because I know if I'm going to sleep on it, it's never going to happen. I'm just going to let it go. And it's my responsibility as a man, as a husband, to make sure that her needs mentally and physically are fulfilled. Now, I could say it's her problem. She wants to get inspired, let her on a lecture and call her a day. Like, I don't care. But we have to understand as human beings, when someone cries out to you, even though it's not in tears or in screaming, but it's just like simple hints, if you don't take action, there will be a blow up. And that blow up will be whose fault? Your fault. Why? Because the cry for help was there. You just didn't care about it because it wasn't explosive. That's the problem. As humans, we think that action only needs to be taken when there's something bombastic that's about to happen. Oh. As soon as you get a hint, someone tells you, I need help, right away, how can I help? Don't wait for something to blow up. And this is something they teach you forget about the secular world, the Torah is all about this. As soon as there's a ring of help, you gotta be there, especially for your family. You can't neglect the people that are in your four walls. It's a very hard thing for people like for speakers and rabbis and people for the public. They fall in this trap all the time. You know why Chabad has a lot of success? Because their avodah, their job, includes the whole family to get involved. That means the husband is doing classes and running around. The wife is doing classes and running around. The kids are doing stuff, they're running around. Everyone's involved. Everybody. The whole family is in this idea. We're shluchim, we're messengers, and we're doing the job, whatever. We're not getting into the hashkafik part. Like, leave politics alone. Let's look at the beauty of it, right? They're doing something. But then you get these other sects of Judaism, right? Only the man is doing something. Or only the wife is doing something. And everyone else in the house is left out. Where's Abba going? Oh, he's going away. Why? Because of this. Oh, another week without him. Oh, mommy, where's mommy going? Another week without her. And what happens? You start to neglect everyone around you. But if you include everybody, even though sometimes they cannot be physically included, but mentally you include them, and forget about someone like me, someone like you, for example, right? People always ask me, what's the most important thing? The most important thing is that a kid should understand that mommy and daddy, Abba and Ima, are always on the same page. Because the second Abba and Ima are not on the same page, that's when the parents start talking, belittling each other in front of the kids. Even if, let's say, one of the spouses is not there, once this child hears one time, wow, your father is such a boy, he's so stupid. Or, your mama, look at her, she's retarded. What is she doing? You know what happens? You just ruin the respect of the parents for the rest of the life. See? Even God is answering to that. Huh? Don't do that mistake. But that comes from a person's self-work. A person has to work on himself. Look at yourselves. I'm sorry, I have to. I'm not here to bash you. Don't lie to yourselves. You guys feel a sense of unaccomplishment. Forget about you having a hard time finding a girl right now. Forget that. That's not even in the picture. You as a human being, as you, can you look at yourself in the mirror and say, I'm happy for what I'm doing with my life. I'm happy. I'm happy I'm doing this. I'm happy I'm doing that. I'm happy I have a schedule. I'm happy I'm learning Torah. I'm happy I'm excited. I'm Or is that something that you have to just tell yourself, yeah, it's gonna be okay. One day. Maybe that one day has to be now. What does Hillel Hazaken say? If not now, then when? You're always telling yourself when, tomorrow. I had a guy, he just called me. He got married. As a kids, as a family. He said, all my life I'm living with tzarot, problems after problems, pain, fighting, killing each other, husband and wife. So we got into certain conversations and we realized there's a mental health issue. There's a mental health issue. What's the mental health issue? Unfortunately, the way this community is raising their kids was around one object. One thing. The center, even beyond that even, the center of our focus of how we raise our kids is based on one thing. What is that one thing?
Money.
Oh, money. Money. Everything in this community is based on what? Money. Everything. You gotta go to college. Why? Because you gotta make money. You gotta get married. Why? Because you have to make money. You gotta go to school. You have to be good. Why? Money. You gotta money. It's such a wrong. It's wrong.
Yeah,
It's wrong. I'm not saying money is not important. Money is needed. Is a necessity. We need it in order to live. But we can't live for the money.
No.
Yes, because that. How come we don't push it to our kids in a sense of doing things proper, having normal manners, being a people's person, not a people's pleasing person, a people's person, meaning know how to act, know how to be menschlichkeit, understanding that there is God, understanding that there is a world, understanding that we have a greater purpose, understanding we have to strive to be successful. Yeah, but don't make the center of everything about money. Because it's the truth is it's not about money. You know when it becomes about money? When you give up hope on having something beyond money. Because it's hard to work on oneself to have a good family and a good life and be a good person. It's hard. It's easier to go out and hustle and make money. It's much easier to do that than to work on yourself. Much easier. Billion times easier. So that's why they run to what? Money.
No, but I feel like because money will give you the life you want.
The life you want? What's a life that you want?
No, not everything.
Let me ask you a question, right? You opened my mouth now. Be careful. It's very dangerous. Let me ask you something. You have an option.
Yeah.
Filthy rich
Mm-hmm.
good wife, good kids. Everything's normal life, everything's perfect. Perfect. Right? Or your relationship with your wife is like best friends, but with respect. That this is the catch that most people don't have. Best friends with respect. You live a moderate, modest life. You're not the richest person. You're not poor.
But you're living well
You have a modest life.
though. Well, what's modest?
Modest, that means at the age of 32, you get your house.
What kind of house?
You get a house at the age of
You go on
30.
vacation.
You go on vacation maybe once a year.
No, I'll take it the first time.
Maybe once a year. And you have kids in yeshiva. You don't have thousands of dollars saved in the bank account.
No.
But you have an excellent relationship with your spouse. Okay. You chose the first one. I personally would not choose the
The
first
first
one.
one you said also good
Yeah,
relationship.
You have a good relationship.
Yeah.
You have a good relationship, right? But there's still a sense of,
You didn't add that before.
you know, you have no problem going to your friend saying, I was like, you like, well, no problem, like whatever, she's whatever, woman will be woman, right? You know the Shalom Bayit card that all these older people use, I want to deck them in the face, they're already pissing me off, right? Or you'll have the best, mamish, the best relationship.
That option wasn't there before, really.
Should be
Why
self-explanatory.
can't you travel older?
I never said you can't, but I said let's say you had an option.
It's still the first option.
You would pick the first one, and I'm telling you,
Person you live with.
the reason why. Let me explain something to you. When you have the second option, you won't care about the money.
But again,
What is money trying to give you?
no, I do.
I'm asking you a question.
Yeah, I'll tell you.
What is money trying? What are you getting out of this money? Like, what are you guys working so hard in order to achieve? In order
You
to
have
get?
good time with doing. Use the.
But if you have such a good relationship, you're already having that good time.
No,
You see, in
but-
your mind, you're not understanding one main thing. This is the main thing. A change of location, is scenery, and so on and so forth, does not necessarily give you a good time. A good time is spending it with the right company. When you, how someone one time told me, I'd rather spend being in jail for the rest of my life with my best friend than being the most fanciest vacations and the greatest enemies. Why? Because I know when I'm with my best friend, regardless where I'm gonna be, I'm gonna have a good time. I'm gonna be chilling. Yeah, we'll get it, but we'll laugh about it after. Same thing here. You can't weigh it out because you're not married yet. I want you to understand something. Having that good relationship is what everyone wants. And they think they'll buy it with money. So what do? They shower their spouses and their family and their kids with it, not knowing that that's counterintuitive, because that just makes them happy for a minute. I'm literally a minute. I'm not even joking with you. How do I know this? How many times you went on vacation with family members? They're on the vacation and during the vacation they're still fighting and killing each other. Well, like, what the heck's the point? I came here to relax, and instead of relax, you know what I'm getting? The same crap that I would have gotten back at home. So what was the point? There was no point. You just wasted all that money. You burnt it. For what? For a good time? No. The good time is not the new location. The good time is who you're spending the time with.
Yes,
But that's what
yes.
Go ahead.
It's better when you have money on top of that as well.
I'm not saying that. Of course, it's better if you could this and that. But you know what the difference is? When you have that kind of good relationship, even if you'll go away for 24 hours somewhere just to spend some time together, it is more valuable and more appreciated than now going for a whole Pesach trip for half a month in Spain or in Morocco or in Israel or in, where did you go? Croatia, right? Right? It will be more satisfying because you know you're enjoying that person's company. You're not understanding this. Enjoying a person's company is lighting the Shabbos candles. Taking care of your circle around you. We became so outside oriented in goal because of this social media. It's killing us. Why? I gotta post. I gotta this. I got what? For what? He's gonna look at me. My ex is gonna look at me, and I know she broke up with me. She's gonna. I want to make her jealous. What the heck? It's like such a disgusting kind of. It's a cruel way of thinking. Not understanding that when you have that peace of mind, you're chilling. You're on vacation for the rest of your life. You're good. You don't need anything else. You know what? You're not gonna want anybody else. You're not gonna want it. You're not gonna want. That's why I laugh when people say, I have 2, 3 wives. Yeah, I say, go ahead. Have 10 wives. It's not gonna satisfy you. It's gonna drain you out and you're gonna wanna kill yourself. Have that one good one, invest your time and life on it and go weiter. Go weiter. Continue pounding away. Pound away, baby. One is more than enough. More than enough. Why do you need this headache? We're not understanding because we're so involved with just pleasing the outside, we're forgetting about the inside. And that's what really Hanukkah is here to tell us. Can we light the Shabbos candles and the Hanukkah candles next to each other? They have to be separate. Why? Oh, the halakha says because the person shouldn't get confused what day it is. Let's get into the deeper. Let's get deeper. What's the deeper meaning? You can't mix both avoiders together, both jobs together. There's an outside job which is lighting up the world, and then there's an inside job
even deeper
and lighting up your family. When you cut that time that you have to be with your family and give it outside, or cut the time you have to be outside and give it to your family, you're doing destruction. You're not building. You're cutting yourself. Go ahead, tell me something deeper. Tell me something deeper.
Basically, you know how you said Shabbat candles represent the home, right? Hanukkah candles represent the outside. You shouldn't mix the outside with your home. You have to keep it far away.
Correct. That's what, very good.
Good.
Everything has its time and place. You have to understand Torah, mitzvot. You have to, and if you're not going to work on yourself, you're just going to be empty. You're going to be empty. It's unbelievable. HaKadosh Baruch Hu, when He created this world, He knew exactly what He was doing. We have to understand we need to harvest, we need to work on our Avodat HaKodesh. We need to feel that sense, I want Hashem now, every second of my life. I'm not a fanatic. I go on vacation. I'm going on vacation soon. It doesn't make a difference. What? I'll tell you after the camera's are closed. I'm going on vacation. I'm going with my wife. Yeah, I'm going away. I'm getting out of the country. I need a break. I need a break. She needs a break. I'm not a caveman. Right? I have a car. She has also a car. We're not cavemen. But does that mean now I have to rip myself in order to get what? An X-Class? Or how you guys talk in these cyber trucks? I don't have to kill myself for that. I should kill myself so other people can say, wow! Wow, Rabbi, you're killing it. You're making bank. I don't care about that. I should work 3 times harder just because I need his right? That's all you want to say out there, right?
Well, what if you're not working for that? What if you actually like the car? You actually like
okay, so if you like it, you like it. Yeah, it's not bad. Everything's nice. Let me tell you something. Doing Averot is also nice.
But it's not Averot.
You know, I think the Baba Sal used to get driven in a 7 Series already.
All tzaddikim got driven in very high-end cars. Yeah. So what? Are you him?
No. So I look up to him, so I want to do what he does.
So I tell you what, you first do all the things that got him to the level that he is before you get all the goodies that come after it. You know, they asked the Lubavitch Rebbe one time. He used to do certain things that were public things that were very known.
Miracles?
And one time, no, things that he used to do when he would change his hat, suddenly you saw thousands of Hasidim change his hat, and he would change his garment. Thousands of people would do it because they wanted to follow their
But that's like worshiping
right?
at that point.
No, we're not gonna get into that. What it means? It's not worshiping. They're not worshiping him. They don't daven to him, right? So one time his wife said, instead of them doing what he does publicly, they should ask and do what he does privately. How many days he fasts, and how many days he doesn't eat, and how many days he's crying over the Jewish people, and how many times he's not sleeping and he's always on his feet. Because what people just want to do, what's easy. People don't want to get to that level of spirituality. Oh, I want to be like Rabbi Pinto. Why? Because he got the car, he got the wah. You know what else he did? He also went to jail. You know what else happened? He had a very, very hard time with his wife.
Yeah, the C word.
What? You know what else? Disease. You know what else? If I tell you things, your mouth are gonna drop. How much that man had to go through suffering in his life. You know the Baba Sali? He knew what sickness he was sick from and what he died from, and the doctors didn't even know. He's not allowed to do prophecy on himself, Ruach HaKodesh for himself. But when the doctors told him you're sick with ABCDs, he looked at him and said, you're wrong, and just walked out. You know the Baba Sali buried his son? You see, we want to be like these great people, but we don't want to do the job that they did in order to be like that. So what's the chokhmah? It's exactly what I said before. You want to live that high-end, classy life, but what? You don't want to have that affection and one-on-one with your spouse or with your family. But I do. So let me see you work on that first before you go for the end class and all this kind of other stuff. Why won't you do that first? Why won't that be your priority? Because it's much harder. It's much harder. So if we take tomorrow, Zot Chanukah, we take our focus and our takim, right? These letters we're going to write. And don't focus it on something physical, something materialistic. But focus it on something more personal, something more connecting between you and your creator, or you and your spouse, you and your kids, you and your parents. Maybe instead of focusing on stuff that are materialistic, that are today here, tomorrow not here, maybe we focus on something that's eternal. Like our neshama is eternal. Our ahavat to Klal Yisrael and to Hashem is eternal. How do we focus on that? How can we stop finding excuses for things that are not important? They're not important. I promise to you. How do I know it's not important? That car that you really loved, another 3, 4, 5 years, they're going to be considered old. You're going to want to get the newer one. What happened? You loved it! Nah, I only loved it then, when it was the hype. Now it's not the hype. I'm upgrading. You see all these new kids driving these fancy cars. But they're taking money, they're burning it to the garbage. And how many hundreds of people you can help with that money? Hashem didn't give money to the rich for them to use it on themselves. He gave money to the rich because He knows they are the ones that can give it to others. To be rich is very difficult. It's the hardest test in the world to have money.
So why didn't He give it to those that they themselves want to give?
Because those people have the koach in order to give. If I give money, millions of dollars to a poor person, what is he going to do with that money? You know what he's going to do? He's going to destroy it. What's the statistic of people that win the lottery? They all become broke or kill themselves. Why? Because they don't know what to do with it. They don't know how to handle it. They don't know how to build with it. Take a rich guy that worked and he got it, right? What does he do with his money? He spends on himself, but he doesn't spend everything. He's not a shoteh. He invests, he makes, so on and so forth. So if HaKadosh Baruch Hu gives you that money, what do you have to do? What do you have to do with it? Spend it on yourself?
No.
You have to invest it back on his kids. I'm going to tell you a small mashal. There was a person, and we're going to finish with this, how the world is a galgal. Rabbi Hiya, right? Rabbi Hiya, one time, I said this last week, I think his wife Back in the day, how was it? How would they do hachnasat orchim? They would bring the hachnasat means guest. How would they give tzedakah or do guests? Person would come to the house. They would give them food. One time, someone knocked on the door. Rabbi Chaya was there eating with his family, and his wife wanted to get the poor person out. You know, her husband came. He's tired. Rabbi Chaya said, "Bring him in." Why? Because you don't know when your kids or your descendants will be knocking on someone else's door. And because of the generosity that you did, someone's going to have a kindness on them. This Motzei Shabbat, there was a family when I was younger that helped me very, very much. Very much. Personally. And unfortunately now they're not doing financially well. Before they were doing very well. Now they're not financially well. They're struggling. And I was with their kids over Shabbat. You know, it's Hanukkah, everyone's getting gifts. Even though I'm not a guy that gives gifts, I don't give gifts on Hanukkah. But I know since they came from such a rich family, this is something that would be this was something they always had. But they can't have it. For the past 2 years, they didn't have it. And it was hurting me inside. Like, these kids, Hashem had to humble them. So I said, I'm going to make a chesed, I'm going to take them and buy them gifts. So I took them to the mall, Motzei Shabbat. I said, anything you desire from the store, from this whole mall, whatever you want, I'm going to buy it for you. Whatever you want.
Can you do that with me?
Whatever you want. Because, you see, the world is a circle. One day you don't have, the next day you have. One day you don't have, or one day you have, the next day you don't have. You don't know who will what and be with who. And they chose certain things. It doesn't make a difference on the pricing. But that sensitivity to me came, why did it come? Because there was a time that those same people, their father and mother, came and gave a handout to me. And out of that feeling, I said, I have to do something back to these kids. Now, should we have that for every human being? Of course. But let's not lie to ourselves. You feel it close to the ones that help, right? It's just the way it goes. It's human nature. When you put, Hashem sees this. When you show Hashem, you put His kids before you put yourself. When Hashem sees that you're doing whatever you must do in order to save and to help another Yehudi, which means even saving yourself. Saving yourself. You don't gotta go too far. You gotta just look at your four amot. Hashem acknowledges that. It says, just because of that, I'm gonna give you all the good in this world. We have to understand, good is not what we think. Good is what Hashem has planned for us. That's what it is. Until we don't come to this comprehension, we won't know. We won't understand what's the point of me in this world. Look at Goyim celebrating. What are they celebrating? You know what they're celebrating? They're celebrating the Jew.
Huh?
That's what they're celebrating. Today is a cause it says it's not,
Bring
but the circumcision of this Jew. That's what they're celebrating. So foolish, so dumb. Celebrate my Brit
We
Milah.
celebrate Brit Milahs all the time, bro.
Right?
We celebrate Brit Milahs.
Correct.
They celebrate New Year.
No, 8 days after Xmas is. That's 8 days.
But we always celebrate Brit Milahs.
Yeah,
What's the
no,
problem?
you're not listening. Why is it that? Why is it 8 days?
6 days.
No,
Or the
it's 8 days.
25th to the 31st is.
No, January 1st is 8 days from 25th.
Is it?
It's 8 days. Because there's right?
26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. First.
No, it was on Wednesday. That was Wednesday as well. Okay, 7.
8 days.
The Thursday is what?
Thursday.
Thursday's already the 2nd.
No, I'm sorry. Oh, Wednesday is what? No.
Rabotai, it's 8 days. It's 8 days.
8 days, yeah.
It's 8 days. Do the math later. It's 8 days. They're celebrating a Brit Milah, so called, right? So foolish. Do you know why they do this?
It's too foolish, brother.
Because it's emptiness.
But we always do Brit Milas.
No, you're not understanding. No,
So,
you're not
I
understanding.
don't
No,
understand.
I'm gonna explain to you. We celebrate it because it's ours.
So
You-
we can celebrate it?
No, you're not gonna celebrate my son's brit unless I invite you, right? You're gonna celebrate whose brit?
But we should know every
You're right. You're not listening. You're not listening. You're now being flying to another stadium. Focus. You celebrate whose brit? Your own kids, hopefully one day, right? Brothers, right? I was about to say sisters, but hopefully I know we're in different genders or this generation. But right, your brother's breed, your cousins, and so on and so forth. Why? Because it's your family. You have a reason why. They don't have a reason why to celebrate this day. Besides one thing. Rabbi Victor Miller said if God didn't create sports and activities for the Goyim, they would find a reason why to kill us. Out of boredom. They would kill us because they would be too bored with their lives.
What do you mean? There's other things to do.
Like, give me an
Making
example.
money, going...
How many of them make money already? How many of them do all these
So after
things?
that, they're still gonna be bored?
They're bored. Because what's boredom? No purpose of life. No connection with God. There's no connection. They just keep it because they keep it. We became like that too. I'm sorry to tell you this. Judaism is on a decline. Huge decline. Huge. And no one rabbi is ever going to say it. No one's ever going to say it. You understand? No one's. Why? Because our Judaism just became a checklist. There is no pnimiut, there is no sense of feeling towards the mitzvot anymore. It's all about I gotta do it because this is the standard. What kind of nonsense is this? You're going on a shidduch date? Oh, he's a Baal Tshuva, he's there. Come, just like, who cares? You know how many Haredi girls I know, they do shtiyot, or the Haredi guys, and they don't want to marry a Baal Tshuva, for what? They're tzaddikim, these are the best people. It's a stupidity. It's a nonsense. It's a nonsense. The guy's wearing 2 tefillins and he's wearing shmushi rabbi. He thinks he's a gadol ador. You ask him the one. Can you just explain to me this sugya in the Gemara? Oh, I never learned Gemara in my life. What the heck are you doing then? What are you doing? Oh no, I want to show off to everybody. No, Habibi, for what? Show off. Wear it. I'm not telling you not to wear. Wear it. Wear 10 tefillins. I don't care. But do your prerequisites first. Be a mensch. Understand what the Torah is for. The Torah is, I'm telling you, we don't learn our own Sfarim. We don't learn our own Tanakh. We don't learn it. We learn the Parashiot and we think we're already tzaddikim. We have a whole 19 more books that we don't learn. 19 we don't even learn. Well, we learn only 5. The first 5 books? So come on. Where's our Ahavat Torah? Where's the purpose of why we're living? We're not living just because we get circumcised and have a bar mitzvah and keep Shabbat, and this is no point. Life is empty. Your life is empty. Oh, I'm not joking with you. I used to also feel like this all the time. Sometimes I also feel like this. Fucking empty. What's the point? Till I don't have to click myself back and going to this and doing that, it's empty. It's pointless. Even with all that Torah and going to the mikvah and understanding, you still need to always renew it. You gotta always get more information. Why? Because every time it's more and more and more, you feel less robotic. You guys are all robots. Your Avodat Hashem is all robotic. I'm sorry, you don't want to hear the truth. I don't give a hoot. It's all robotic. From the second you...
How is yours not? How?
Because I'm constantly learning. It's sometimes I feel it's very robotic. But when you constantly learn, constantly there's another reason why, another understanding why, another meditation why, another connection, and another... That's why we have to continuously learn. Why? Because then whatever you learned, you become too used to. Hergia. It becomes okay. Constantly, more. Imagine if you don't learn at all, and you just do it because you're a devil.
Better than nothing. Is it?
It is. I'm not gonna lie, it is. But why would you settle for that? Why would you settle? Right? You wanna have a car one day, right? Yes or no? You wanna have a car one day, right? Buy yourself a scooter. Not a motor one. Foot one. Look at that. It's better than nothing, right? Why are you striving for a car? Look at the car. Scooter takes you places too. Okay, it won't take you right away. Okay, it'll take you extra long. Okay, a bicycle. Be nice. Bicycle. Maybe a tricycle so you can also charge someone. Together you can go, right? Why won't you settle for that? Why? Because you're not a tupoy, right? Why are you settling? How come you're not striving? How come? There's no answer. The answer is because we're lazy.
It's too hard.
It's not hard.
No,
It's not hard. It's not hard. It's not hard. We don't want to. Because we've been burnt out. Because the people that taught us how to live a Torah-dic life themselves didn't live it normally. All these quote-unquote yeshivish kind of people that you learned, they didn't live a Torah life. They lived a Torah outside life. You know which Rebbein you always feel a sense of connection to? The ones that are genuine in their life. The ones that are not genuine, you don't feel no connection. Why? Because they themselves don't have a connection. How are you going to have a connection to a person that he himself doesn't have a connection to God? You know which Rebbein you feel a connection? The ones that you see, look at him, look how he's excited to do this, look how he loves to do that. Look when he opens the Gemara, he's all glowing. The ones that not, you just do his class and then you out. You need to feel that connection. That's what Chanukah is. It's bringing the outside and the inside and making it one. When I finish with this, does anyone have any questions? Ask, it's okay. I don't bite. You have a question? No? No? You're too quiet today. No?
I have a question.
Oh! Go ahead.
Okay, so you said basically the two options you gave us was having a life where it's good, you have a lot of money, but your relationship with your wife is good. It's not the best, but it's good. Or a life where you have an amazing relationship with your wife, but you live modest. And now, women nowadays, they also have social media. Even though you said it's not a great thing, they also have higher expectations in life. So maybe they would also pick the first option of having more than having a modest life. Maybe they wouldn't be so happy with a modest life.
Okay, so you asked an excellent question. Amazing question. What you're basically saying that the ball is not in my hand, it's on her hand. Right? And you're 100% right. The way you're going to live your life is dependent on two things. Number one, how she wants to live. And number two, what are you going to do about it? Let me explain them both. But I have to give an introduction to another topic first. How long are we recording for? Because I don't want to go an hour and 3 minutes already?
Part two?
No part twos. No part twos. We'll get an answer. Whoever watches it watches. Whoever doesn't watch it, not my problem already. You ready? I'm going off tangent. We have a problem as human beings, especially in this community. Not a problem, but something that we have to grow out of, which we are growing out of. The youngs is growing out of it. What is that? Mental abuse. You see, a lot of the framework of how we want to live our life is based on the mental abuse we got as children, as teenagers. Most people that get married are very unhealthy to get married. I'm sorry to say this. but unfortunately this is the reality of life. I have to break it to you. Most people are not healthy. They're mentally not healthy. This unhealthiness that they have starts to unveil once you're married. Now, it can break into two different ways. Either you deal with it and substitute this unhealthiness with materialistic things that will cover that unhealthiness. I'll give you an example. Now this can go both ways for men or for women. I'm just giving the example because he gave this. Let's say you have a girl that's a gold digger. There are women like that. They're only here for the money. They want the money. Right? What do you do? What do you do? I'm just theoretical. Like, what do you do? You as a man, your first instinct is, I need to please her. Right? So you work hard. Now, depending on your luck, either you make it very well, or all your life you're trying to make it just to shut her mouth. The difference is her mouth never shuts regardless. Regardless if you'll make bank or all your life you're trying to make it, it will never shut her mouth. Why? Because the same way as the bank account grows, the same way how the desires of goodies grow. Then there's another scenario. We're going to get back to it. What's the other scenario? The guy or the girl is showing real mental instability in the beginning of the marriage. So you have an option. Either you said, I had enough, I'm over, I'm done with this. Or you do the proper measures in going through therapy. Now, which therapist is good, not good? I'm not getting into this right now. But therapy does work. If you go to a normal therapist, not some of these rainbow therapists. All rainbow therapists are bad. Are bad. 90% of female therapists are also bad.
What's a rainbow therapist?
A rainbow therapist is the one that only... No. I'll explain to you what I mean by rainbow therapist. A rainbow therapist is a therapist that just wants to validate how you feel, but not to explain to you how to deal with the issues. That's called a rainbow therapist. Right? Those are not therapists. Those are people that know how to suck your money. Let's get back. So for those that have certain issues, right? That's when you have to understand you have to put on a helmet. You got to put on hockey uniform. Not football, hockey. It's more thicker. And you got to do the physical mental work. Now here's the question. Does he or she that needs it, are they going to do it or they're not going to do it? Because if they're not going to do it, you're going to have a miserable life. But if they're going to do it, they're going to have an amazing life. Amazing. Why? Because any person that has this traumatic experience in the childhood and learns how to break free from it, become amazing human beings. Amazing. Why? Because they've experienced garbage, and now that they're out of it, they've experienced what it is to live as a free human being. So the ball is really on whose hand? On your hand. Why? Because you have to make this determination. It's either this person, we're going to work together in order to unscrew the bad screws that he or she has, or am I going to just settle and live in the pain that I'm going to be living in? Now here's the question. How am I going to introduce this to my partner. Because everyone is always in denial. Especially the ones that need help. They're always in denial. They always think they are perfect. Nothing's wrong with me. All therapists are bad. All doctors are bad. All parents are bad. All rabbis are bad. Everyone's bad. Besides who? Them. They're the only perfect human being. And everyone else is bad. That's the question. That's the $1 million question.
Okay, but Rabbi, I don't think I had a mental abuse. So let's say
So I'm going to answer
I don't
you.
know if I actually didn't have it or I did and I don't know.
Okay. So, of course, mental abuse, there's different stages. Different stages. Right? If a parent always tells a child, for example, right? You'll never be successful. You need to do A, B, C, and D. What's wrong with you? You're takoy. That's mental abuse. Now, there's two kinds of people. There's a person that says, hell with it, I'm going to grow from it. And there's a kind of person that they're stuck with it. They can't grow out of it. Because in their mind, they're what? They're exactly what those people got. They're exactly the things that they were getting all their life called. You forget about your parents. Mental abuse can happen, you know where? In school. It can happen when you date other girls. It can happen when you're in college. It can happen at any point of your life. Right? Now there's, again, two kinds of people. Am I going to be a person that's going to do to those people and say, I'm chilling? Or am I going to be the kind of person that's going to be living that over and over and over and over? That's trouble. You have to ask yourself, do I want to break out of it or not? Now, there's also mental abuse, which leads to physical and so on and so forth. And there are different stages, right? Everyone has some sort of trauma. Now, don't get me wrong. I shouldn't tell this to you, but I'm going to say it anyways. Trauma is a gift. It's a good thing. It's not a bad thing.
It's an opportunity.
Why? Because the traumas you have, that's what you only can build on. You can't build on something that you don't have. You need it in order to grow. But in the same time, you also have to learn how to grow out of it and not continuously live in it. Do you understand? Did I answer your question? If I didn't answer, say I didn't answer.
I think I got a portion of the answer. So what's
Now,
What was the question?
how do I deal with it now? Right?
Yeah.
That's the question,
Yeah.
right? I answered the introduction.
Yeah.
How do I deal with it now? I'm in a situation. How do I deal with this now? As a man that has this problem, that has this problem with a female, he has to sit her down and he has to say, we're going to marriage counseling. We're gonna fix this problem because I'm not living like this. I'm done. And he forcefully, not physically, has to make sure that they go to get help. And for a woman, it's a totally different ballgame. How she has to get him to do that. Because you can't hurt his ego. Man is more sensitive. Men are more sensitive than women. Can't hurt his ego, say, oh, you're not a proper husband. So there's other tricks women can do. There are ways, because at the end of the day, the man also in his nature, he wants to always give and provide and please his wife. And if he gets the message that she's not happy with A, B, C, and D, but it's letovat, it has to be always for the good and not for the bad. Meaning, let's say he buys a vacation and she says, why are we going there? I want to go somewhere else. That's not good. But if she says, I appreciate it, but this is not going to solve the issues that we have, and I think we should seek some professional help. Nothing wrong with you, just I'm not happy. Maybe something's wrong with me. You saw what I just did?
Shouldn't they try talking it out amongst themselves first before
No.
getting on?
And then how do you find
No.
a person to count?
I'll tell you why. Why? Can I tell you why?
The emotions get involved.
Because when two mental people try to solve the problem, you know what comes about?
Not a problem.
Another problem. You have to understand this. This is very important. Because no one's talking about this. This is extremely important. Getting professional help is a necessity. Nothing wrong with it. It's not a problem. We have to understand this. The problem is we don't understand because we're in denial. So what do? We seek physical pleasures to calm down that devil inside of us, that pain, that anguish, and not realize that the pain is still going to be there. What are you doing? So you got to ask yourself, what can I do to seek this professional help in order to become a better human being? When we go out on dates, not we, Hashem, I'm done with that, bro. Right?
Keep dating your wife.
Right? What?
Still going on dates.
Keep dating your wife.
No. By me, it's a bit different. We already passed date stages.
No, that's not good.
No, don't tell me what's not good. You leave that to you, right? You leave that to you, right?
All the books say keep dating your spouse.
Yeah, just because they never got married to begin with.
Bro,
We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that at a different time.
Okay.
We'll talk about no on camera. We'll talk about it, but at a different time. At the end of the day, you have to have. It's not keep on dating. You have to respect your spouse. I'm going off tangent
Even
just
if
because
your
of
wife
you.
wants to learn
You
with
know
that's
why?
a date too. You
No,
guys
it's
say
not. It's not a date. It's not a date. It's not a
to
date.
do.
No, it's not a date. It's a responsibility that I have now. It's not a date. I have to learn. Every husband has to learn how to respect his wife. What does that mean, respect? Does it mean I have to clean feet and this, that? No. Respect means I cannot belittle her because I want to pick myself up. That's what it means. I cannot say, you know, are you cross-eyed? You didn't see the things on the floor? How did you clean? What, you don't know how to cook? Your mother didn't teach you? None of that nonsense. That's not a marriage. That's not even being married. When the rabbis say you have to continue dating, it means the way you were acting while you were dating, continue acting that way. Which is what?
Respect.
Respect. That's what it means.
Okay,
So what they say, they give this new thing, oh, you have to keep on dating. No, you're married. Who you lying to? Who you lying to? You're doing the deed, right? Right? You're not dating her. You're marrying her. Whoa, what nonsense is this? Oh, we have became a politically correct, defected generation where everything has to be puppy tossed with butterflies. Break out of that crap, my friend. I'm not blaming you. I'm just saying, right? This whole thing of this nonsense. No, we're married. We gotta learn how to respect each other. We have to learn what it means respect in order to get to love and get to. Yeah, you have to fear each other too. Yeah, without fear, you're gonna be like monkeys. Yeah. If you don't have that sense of respect and fear towards your wife, you cheat on her. And she cheat on you. I'm sorry to say this to you. How many guys, they keep on dating their wife and they're going the neighbor next door, but we're dating. I'm so terrific.
That's not what it means, right?
I know. That's also
That's not what
I
it
know.
means.
So I know what I did. I went to the extreme of this one because you went to the extreme of that one. You're married to her.
When did I want to treat?
You married to her, you guys will fight, you guys will argue, you guys will, it's normal.
Yeah.
But in the same time, you have to have respect to each other. Where are we going? Let's get back to this. What was I saying? I was saying
So
something.
you have to go
Seek help.
therapist.
Oh, you have to
How do you
seek,
find a good head
you have to
therapist then
seek,
after?
you have to seek professional, normal help. It's not a problem. I'm telling you, it's not a problem. It's not. I don't know why people are scared of this.
Okay, but that's already for someone who has their foot in the door, they're married, okay. I'm talking about someone who doesn't even have their foot in the door, and there's a large majority of girls who are kind of like that. They're more towards, I guess, more materialistic side, because of social media, maybe because of...
The
surroundings,
materialistic
friends,
side,
whatever.
because this is the generation. This is the generation.
So it's like a never-ending cycle. Because the girls want it.
It's
and the
only
guys
an
don't
ending
want to.
cycle when
There are girls that don't want that,
she or he understands that I want to break out of this cycle.
Okay.
That's when it breaks. It doesn't break beforehand. A person, the first thing they teach you, as you grow up, until you're not gonna want, you're never gonna achieve. So too, when you want to get help mentally, until you don't want to be healthy, you're never gonna be healthy. That's why a person can go to therapy for their whole life and still be the same chad. Why? Because in the beginning, they always denied it in their brain. They said, this is crazy. So what do? You find the most healthiest sick person. And then you figure out from there. Now there's a lot of real sick people out there. So be careful, my brother. But you can't you can't make everyone not good because of that. But you also have to be an open-minded individual to say, you need to find, you know what helped me personally? I also went through these kind of things. I'm not gonna lie to you. I went through these kind of things. There's nothing wrong. Do I regret it? Absolutely not. The best choices of my life. The best choices helped me drastically. People are jealous on my relationship. But no one wants to do the work that I did. So why are you jealous? Why are you jealous then? Because they didn't do the work. Do the work, you don't need to be jealous. You have to understand one final thing, and I'm really going to have to be done after this. And that is as follows. When you go out, and if she tells you she has a manhid, a rabbi or a rebbitzin, you have to ask this one question. This is very serious. Is this rabbi and rebbitzin you have your final word, even if you don't like it, or not? Because if they say, it's very bad. Very bad. It's extremely bad. You have to understand something. When you get married, if there's not someone in between, it just becomes an emotional wreck. Because when there's someone in between, there is no taking sides already. There's no emotions. Of course, you need someone normal that's in between, right? That's the key. Because that person makes the decision when it gets really tough. And you say, oh, well, I'm not a man enough to make a decision. Of course you're a man enough. Well, you're trying to figure out your life yet. So you had a fight. What, you're running to the divorce papers after 2 fights? Are you freaking kidding me? It doesn't change if you marry somebody else. Different problems, different phase. What are you running away from? I can't, she's like this or he's like that. Too bad. Figure it out. If no one cheated, it's still workable. Unless there's a real mental issue that needs medically help. That's it. It's that simple. There's plenty of good girls out there. There's plenty of good guys out there. I promise this to you. Ton. Don't be too picky. That's the problem. You're too picky. All of you are too picky. There's no point. No point whatsoever. No point. Looks, this, that, she's naive, she has a pleasant face, pleasant attractiveness. Next. There's no end to it. There's no end. My brother was telling me he got a resume of a girl 36 years old. My brother said 36 or 38. she looks more beautiful than the models that are out there now. And she can't find the shidduch. She can't find the shidduch. Don't, you're the one God testing you. So if I were you, I would cut your tongue before someone's gonna cut off something else. You understand?
Does your wife know about that recipe?
What? No, it doesn't make a difference. It's unsensical. It's for a person to be that age and be so picky. She definitely dated at least 500 men.
It's crazy.
Out of 500, you couldn't find one normal?
That means she's not normal herself.
No, and that means it's whatever it means. I'm just telling you. You guys are not so far, right? Like you guys are laughing at her, yeah, right? You guys are not so far too. Maybe not 500, but come on. What's wrong with you people? Oh, the nose is like this, the face is like that. Tomorrow, when her mouth is gonna open like a dog, you're not gonna say, "Oh, you have such a beautiful body." You're gonna say, "Idina." You're gonna want to kick her out from the door, right? You're not gonna say, "Oh, scream at me only when you have makeup on," or "Scream at me only when you have this." You're not gonna say that. She's not gonna care. So then, what are we focusing on? Focus on that's important too, but focus on things that really matter. What's your question?
You said that if somebody that we're going out with has like a rabbi, like a relative, basically, to speak to, which ask them if it's the final word. What if they don't have a rabbi? Like,
That's very bad if they don't have.
a big problem?
It's
I
not.
don't think I have one. I thought it was you, but I don't know.
It's not. It's not that it's a big problem. It's just. It's something that shows. It shows a sense of. It's a bit of an iffy thing.
How do you find one? It's hard.
What do you do in that case if somebody were to say if you're in a serious relationship and you don't have a rabbi or relative to go to?
Yeah.
Who do you ask advice to?
Like me personally?
Not you. You have to get down to the nitty gritty.
They go to lecture now.
Like I asked somebody, but
Enough
their
of this
advice,
lectures things. Speakers are not people that are. They're not. You can't. You know what I mean? You can't. You gotta go to someone that has experience. You
But
gotta
if
be.
my mentor or whatever is like somebody who's on my family, so like that's not a non-biased thing. You said I have to find somebody that's.
You need to
in the
find
middle,
someone.
right?
Well, of course, if you're
So
gonna get married to someone and she's gonna say, "Let's go ask a rabbi or something." Your rabbi is your best friend, right? She's not gonna want to go to him.
Yeah. So what do you do? How do you find?
You have to
somebody?
find someone that's not biased.
Do you have one? Yeah.
Do I have a rabbi?
No, you have yours. Do you have one with you guys together?
Between me and my wife?
Yeah.
Of course.
Different.
No, same person. Same person.
When you guys get married, does she just like go by your rabbi instead of like
No.
they still have their own?
Yeah, they have though this, that, but
So what are you doing?
as you know what happens as you grow together, right? And you realize that so much things are. When you get married, what's the fights when you get married? You know what the fights are?
Pick up their sides and
Oh, BS. It's where we gonna go for Shabbos, you disrespected my parents, what did you cook, you don't cook, you don't clean, all this crap, right? All this nonsense, right? You don't do this, you don't do that, you're fighting on each other. So you call the thing. As you get older, not in a sense of age, but over here, right? And you realize there's no point of fighting over things that are useless, and you start working on each other, and what questions do you already have? Like what? Like what are the questions you have? They're more spiritual questions than physical. When you reach it's more spiritual than it's not a question of who's right and who's wrong. The question is what is right? But if you call and say, "Oh, my husband always goes every week to his parents' house for Shabbos. I want to now go to my parents' house for Shabbos." Okay, what's the scenario? Why doesn't your husband want to go there? I don't know, my father's like that, my mother that, the whole God's a story. So that, yeah, there's a different thing. You know, you go to different people for different things, right? And the rabbi also has to be a chacham. Has to know how to play the juggle, know how to know to do what, to say what, how to do, you have to make everyone happy too. that becomes another step. That's another thing. Sometimes the husband wants this rabbi and the wife wants the other rabbi. Then what do? That's another thing you have to discuss.
Because when they conflict, you guys.
Yeah, I know they conflict only. You know why they conflict? Because you guys don't have the same head. But if you work together, marriage is a teamwork. This is what they don't stress this enough in all those books that you read and the marriage and stuff, right? It's a teamwork. It's not about you and me. It's about us. There is no you and there's no I. Us. How do we pass this? Using the D word doesn't exist in our vocabulary. What's the D word? Divorce. That word doesn't exist. I don't know, it's like it's been getting thrown around so much. Why? Why are these rabbis just giving people divorce documents? Every rabbi has to understand until a couple doesn't go to 6 months marriage counseling, they can't get a divorce. They can't. You know how many marriages could have been saved, but because some people wanted to make money and put it in their pocket, they just signed some divorce papers? Hundreds of marriages I know. And today they all regret that they got divorced. They all regret it. And they remarried with other people. They regret it. For what? Because of ego? Stupidity. Baruch Adonai Leolam. Amen.